5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
All right, everybody. Here you are. You're live with Neve, broadcasting from high in the Highlands. I'm 100 feet away from the building which sent the first intercontinental radio broadcast right on the hill by Marconi. All right. I hope everybody's having a great Friday. Today we're having a little different show because we have a 1 o'clock show, which the only reason we did it is because Rich is just supremely the coolest dude that I know with a pencil and a pen or whatever implement of destruction. Thank you, Julie, for introducing us to him.
Right. Rich is amazing.
I watch his show and I just realized why my my teacher, other than she thought my artistic mind was good for anything but drawing. Basically, I was a menace to society. And Mrs.
I'm
Ellis,
right there with you.
Wherever you are,
Yeah.
I love it when you watch the show, and I will do my best to learn from Rich. So, how you guys doing? What's going on?
Hello, hello, gentlemen, lady.
Rich.
I
Yes.
am. Yay!
How are you?
Finally, I am exhausted, but
You look
happy.
it. I'm kidding.
I do look it. I look like death warmed over, man.
Don't worry, we have a part for you. It's coming up shortly.
Thank you. I
Yes.
can deal with that. Walking Dead would definitely have me like
All right.
right there, like picked on a Paris runway or something like that. Hello, Toby. How are you? I love Toby. Toby is so
I do too. She's not the best.
She's the greatest.
Toby won. Kenobi.
Yes, I know. I have to
I love
talk
her,
to her about
Louise.
something too because I have a YouTube channel where I do a lot of my drawings, and Toby showed up, and I wanted to know if it's like maybe one day I'll do some drawing while I link up with one of the performers that she continuously promotes, and that would be really dope because then I would draw whatever they decide to sing or whatnot. I mean, I don't know.
So does that mean you're offering your services today to do something live out
Not
of the
now.
mind?
I don't know. I can't. Not now. My cell phone's dead, but I will the next time. Then if you guys want to, I could just show up and I'll just draw something, whatever it can be.
You're always welcome on
That'd
our
be
show,
cool.
brother.
Always.
Anytime.
Anytime.
Send me links. What I'll do is I'll just approach you guys and I'll go say, hey, do you have any room or anything? And if you say yes,
Yeah.
send me the link and I'll draw whatever you request me to draw during the duration of the show. And that'll be fine with me. I have no problem with that at all.
Well,
Yeah.
that sounds awesome and really good and cool.
Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate that. So yeah, hit me up.
I appreciate the fact you even allow me on your show. Thank you.
Oh man, you know what? We were used to. I have friends in low places, man, and music and art and comedy and filmmaking and poetry and whatever. It's all the same intertwined thing. So I know that we know a little bit about this, but I'd like to. I guess for everybody watching, Rich Perotta is an extremely talented artist.
That's me.
He probably has way better penmanship than I have too. I have
it's chicken scratch.
No, mine looks like somebody,
Really?
the idiot child.
I am
child.
not lying to you. I have the worst penmanship
Huh.
known to
That's
man.
so
I don't like writing my name in penmanship. I don't like writing my name just regular because it's an unnatural thing for me to draw to write that way because I'm so used to doing this and then all of a sudden it's like scribble. I might as well be carving into stone. It just doesn't work.
Oh, there we go.
It's impossible at this point, but yeah, it's My handwriting's horrible. My art's great, but my handwriting is total crap.
I have another friend of mine who's an artist, and I hope he drops in. Our boy Wegman. I don't know where he is.
Oh, Robert,
today,
yeah.
Rob's a really talented guy. He's an amazing, talented producer and engineer, singer, songwriter. Every time I want to listen to something and kind of get a mixing lesson in how to track and mix multiple vocal tracks and make them sound so fucking sweet, I always love hearing whatever he's got new. First time we met, I put him on the record, the same record Julie and I are on when you were with Shamira, across Tampa Bay, number one, 1995.
Wow.
No, I think it was like 98 or something like that.
Oh, you were on the 97 album then. Okay.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. I was on a couple.
That's so funny. That songs in the 90s are considered classics at this point. I'm like, you got to be kidding.
Oh, yeah. I know, isn't that horrible?
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like, it's like...
I know. I don't. It's like stop. No, stop aging, please. I'm like, I can't.
Oh man, you're only as old as you feel, and I think you look great for 106.
I do. I feel great for a mummy. You know, I feel great for living in a sarcophagus for the last 500 centuries.
Well, you know, I get out of mine every morning, and people wonder why I'm, never around in the day. I'm down in my hermetically sealed cavern. It just looks like I'm alive. I'm really.
Well, you look great for someone who didn't have his cup of A positive this morning. So everything.
I know. I'm working on it though. I think my neighbor may be home. I have to go over and ask her if she's got a few pints to spare.
Don't fight the neighbors, Neil.
No.
It never ends well.
My neighbors, they love me.
Keep doing that. You can lower down the property value of the entire neighborhood.
Yeah, it happens.
Wrong way you think.
And then you get the wrong element. You get the wrong type of people moving in.
Those musicians, they be playing jazz at night. Before you know it, they'll have marijuana and the devil's lettuce.
It makes you crazy, like reefer madness, and then you have sex.
Do you indulge in that?
Actually have sex more than once.
Lured. Hey man, maybe
it's terrifying.
Have you ever thought about doing a pulp comic?
Yes. The comic that I'm working on right now, I kind of wanted to make it not so much pedestrian, but I didn't want to make it too strange because I have a very strange mind when it comes to stuff like that, and I don't want to freak me out too much. But I've discovered that it's impossible to freak out a lot of people these days. I've been doing
we've devolved to the point where maybe we'll start to evolve back up with any luck. I don't know. I'm fearful of species.
I really should hope so, because I found out some really disturbing things when it comes to like some children's cartoons or something like that. Like after a while, if all of a sudden adults start liking them, they start sexualizing them, which is really weak. It is. It's like I was watching a documentary yesterday on just for background noise so I can work. I was listening to a documentary about bronies. If you know what those are. Yeah, the guys who like the My Little Pony thing, they think it's ironic I know. They think it's ironic to be like, oh, I like this cartoon for little girls. And I'm like, okay. I saw it for like maybe 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay, it's a cartoon for little girls. I don't want to watch it. So it's like, that's it. But these guys, they're obsessed with it. And then after a while, you go to some of these conventions and some of them are a little bit more adult oriented. Like they have body pillows that are with the illustrations on it there. And then like there's like fan art where it's a little suggestive and kind of like sexual.
There is, if you're a fan of Bob's Burgers,
Oops, Julie, you're off. Something happened to you. You've lost your voice. There you are.
If you're a fan of Bob's Burgers, there's actually an episode. It's called The Equestrianauts, based on exactly what Rich just described. It's My Little Pony called The Equestrianauts, and they go to a con and a convention, and then they're there, and there's nothing but men in pony outfits. It's called Bob's Burgers.
No.
Bob's Burgers. Check it out. You'll lose it.
Yeah, it's pretty provocative, and it's actually really scary because
I don't care what anybody does on date night, but setting it for like kids, the My Pony generation, just a little creepy to me.
None of these guys, I don't think it's a lot of date night. None of these guys have ever had a date night Maybe we'll
Exactly. Exactly.
Maybe we'll
I have
end
someone in my
back.
family who needs a date
That's
night
about
real
it.
bad, and
Yeah, they
all I
can take all
say is,
those My Little Bronies and just line them right up with the rest of the horses for castration. That's your best bet.
Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
that
Have
would
you ever heard the
good
disease
idea.
known as Peronis? We'll call it My Little Peronis. I think that means that you have a schwanz that's bent to the left or right from having too much sex. You can actually break the penis and end up with
Wow.
Peronis. So I'm
That
giving you a little
Yeah.
fun-filled facts here because it happens. And the scourge of broken penile problems is everywhere except
All
here.
right, I'm not going to say a word.
Okay, don't worry. We have Viagra sponsoring the show, so if there's
I don't
anybody
need
having
that. That's the point. I don't really need that.
I don't need it either, but it's good for bribing people, old men, or old women whose husband's just not giving the old kicker a good kickstart.
Jesus.
So,
you know what I've written?
Speaking of kickstarts,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Okay,
oh,
good.
go ahead. You got the richness. I'm all yours.
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, wow. You actually have me as the richness. Holy crap. Okay.
Definitely.
Well, I'd love to talk about make fun of bronies all day. That would be great. But since we're here to do this,
You have 2 minutes, by the way, till the break.
I'm a comic book artist, and I started in the mid '90s working at Marvel Comics. That was my first art job.
Mhm.
And I worked there for a good 10 years, and I worked on every single title with the exception of maybe Fantastic Four or Doctor Strange, I think. Those are the only ones I didn't work on. Yeah, I know. It's rather storied career, and I didn't even go to art school for it. I really just truly luck of the draw and like listening to people who told me this is how it's done, because that's the key.
yes.
You know, if anybody decides to give you advice and they know what they're talking about and they tell you, hey, you need to do this, I did that, and I wound up getting a job at Marvel. So there you go.
Hey, for all of you kids, man, listen to
Yes,
richness.
please, absolutely. It's like follow what people who have done this before do.
Exactly.
Follow what they have done, because if you don't, you're just going to be looked at like some sort of arrogant idiot. I've seen that happen so many times where people get full of themselves, and it's like, I'm too good for Marvel. I can easily draw Marvel.
Oh my God, what?
Oh yeah, you know what? That's the worst
There's
thing
no
in
such
art
thing.
is having this big
Oh my
complex.
God.
I get along with everybody, my competitors, people who are better than me, people who are worse. And you know what? If you treat everybody in your life the same, from the top of the CEO list to the bottom, the guy who's like maybe digging your car out or shining your shoes in New York. I'm just saying, be nice to people. It doesn't matter what their station. If you treat them like shit, they'll always remember that about you.
Who doesn't want to be in the world of Marvel? Who doesn't want to be in the world of Marvel? That's like,
I mean,
crazy.
really. I want to be a new superhero. They have to invent one.
Me too.
It will leap small children in a single drunken bound. It's Neil Man.
I'll tell you something. It's fun. It's a lovely it's a lovely thing to be in, but it's not always a game, and it's not always fun in games. It's deadlines, it's professionalism, professional acumen, and making sure you keep your deadlines, because if you do not, you're screwed.
Absolutely.
Yep.
No matter how much you do.
Hold that thought. We're going to go to
All
a
right.
break, and we're going to come back, and I'm going to let you really kind of think about it as a tutorial for some young people growing up. I mean, we have you here, and you have a lot of knowledge. And
Yeah, that's fine.
the audience would rather listen to you than me. Go ahead, Jules.
And I also wanted to mention Rich is going to be sharing go ahead his
Page.
your campaign and everything. Yeah, your Kickstarter.
Great.
Okay, I'm going to
There it
shut up
is.
right now, and I'm just going to go to break, and then we'll come right back. So
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Wow.
Look, please stand by. We got guest difficulties. We mean technical difficulties. And may your first child be a masculine child. Sorry. How crazy is that? Oh, Christ. Bye. We've got problems, okay? I mean, you're starting to make us emotional about it. We've got problems. I mean, technical difficulties.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve Fridays on the East Coast from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
All right. Here we are, live with me from high in the Highlands. We got Rich Perotta from over the pond, and we have our good buddy Irish from Detroit. Tell me, Rich, where do you live in England? You live in London proper?
No, Nottingham. I live in a subsection of Nottingham called Cotgrave.
Does the sheriff chase you around and
oh God,
look in your soiled undies?
No, don't.
Jules,
don't. That is the Neve. Truth to power, you are not the first person who has said that. And
I know. I'm sorry. That was really a cliche and lame. But
no, please don't. And it's like I knew.
A drum roll, please. So sorry. I will do my best to avoid any cliche. Like I couldn't resist, man. I'm just like think of a Labrador and you pull a tennis ball out. I just look at it and until you throw it, I'm kind of. But my apologies from the heart.
Okay. Yes, but Nottingham's actually a really nice town. It's kind of like it's a much larger version of Greenwich Village. It really is. There's a lot of. Well, there's a lot of stores winding around all over the place. I mean, the streets are not set up like a grid. It's very hilly.
Nice.
Very English. Very English and really and just nice overall. Most of the people here are sickeningly nice.
That's great.
Like gripping with like, oh hello, how are you? And I'm like, hi. You know.
Are you from New York?
Oh, they're like, you're not from around here, are you? And I'm like, no.
Obviously, you're not from here.
No, I'm not from here, you fucks.
You get out of me fucking compound, you bastard. Fucking Yanks over here, overpaid. And,
man. They use the C word here like a lot.
Yes.
Oh, I know. And the T word, too.
In America,
they
like crucifixion,
the T word. Oh.
Can you tell me some of
I use it sometimes too, and it's so much fun because no one really gets upset about it. Anyway, yes,
right.
I still love
is there a preferred pronoun for such kind of humor?
Yes.
It?
Well, there's the C word. Obviously, there's slag. You know that's the British version of whore or cunt. You know, it's something.
What is it called? A flag?
Flag. Oh,
I've heard.
Flag, just something along those lines.
Right.
It's like you. Or
it's
even
like
like in the Avengers movie, Mewling Quim, just something.
Yes, it's great. I love that. I love everything is bloody and it's that bloody twat.
Oh yeah,
bloody bastard, bloody twat. Don't be a twat.
Yes, don't be a bloody twat, or you could be if you keep acting like a cunt. I'm gonna slap you in your face, you fucking slag. Something.
I love it.
It's great.
A little bit of Cockney fighting words.
Yeah, right?
We'd call a slag in America sort of something like a lot lizard or a.
Well, a slag in America is like molten steel,
Right.
Different. I mean, something a little bit different over there, but it's Exorcist quote. Look what you did. You're cunting. Oh my God, you're cunting daughter.
Look at that.
That was
said the C word on television. Oh my gosh.
And then one chick.
Horrifying word. It's just so bad.
I am disturbed. I tell you.
Do I look like I'm upset? No. Why should any other woman be?
Terribly so.
It's so hilarious.
It is. It really is. I find it funny, but there's a bunch of things here that it's just a little bit divergent from where I used to live. It's not that big of a deal. It isn't.
I have to ask you because
I'm living here actually. Yes,
I've noticed you're definitely a gourmand as well as I am. I know you really like good food, and I dig watching occasionally something you'll put up. And is that a result of poor English cooking, or is it just a result of you like to cook? I mean, have you ever had haggis?
Haggis? What is haggis? No, not yet. Not until I'm at the age where I have a bucket list that I have to do all of this.
In case
I'm hoping that one's the last thing on my bucket list, and at like 101 years old, I just before
I'd
getting
rather
to that.
have like a Encyclopedia Galactica of like a bucket list before anything actually.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not going to try haggis because it's been told of one thing, and it's organs, and it's meat.
It's so good.
Deep stomach. Oh, you've had it? Irish?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you've had haggis?
I'm Irish, you'd think.
Great.
Oh, duh.
Did your mom make it, or did you get
it? My grandmother got hold of it somehow. We had it at a pig roast, and with all the other trimmings and fixings, and I got a thing for food, and so I don't know what it is about organ meat, but it's just tasty.
We'll be watching you. It's like the Silence of the Lambs. Yes, I'm going to eat you the fava bean and some fine Chianti.
something about
Oh man. How do we go?
sweetbreads. Sweetbreads. Isn't
I
that what
don't know what to say to
Sweetbreads.
that.
I like animal crackers myself. So
Well, you
Wow.
have certain.
That's
Do
not
they have a
haggis,
cage?
that's
Do they have
pure.
cages?
You don't see that in haggis.
No, no. I'd rather see some animal crackers than haggis, really, rather than
I
at
got
least
a
I
few
cut the
actual
outside away
animals.
and eat a. But think about this: we can make like new hot
Yes.
cuisine. We can have like I don't know, haggis delicacies. We can get a Chinese guy and have fusion haggis.
that's actually
You know,
illegal.
it's kind of
They're
like
not even
this-
supposed to be making that shit. Haggis is actually illegal. They can't sell it
Oh, well,
Really?
I
That
tell
is-
you what.
in this country. Yeah.
In the same vein as haggis, here's
Where
a
in the
great
States?
trick for all
Where,
of you
in the
guys.
States or where? Are you in the States, Irish?
Detroit.
It's illegal to make haggis in the States?
No, you can't sell it.
Ah,
Oh.
gotcha.
Why?
It's like
Wow.
I don't know. There's something. It's like big game and shit like that.
Yeah, I think you'll get like
Oh,
mad
yeah,
cow
so
or some
it's
shit.
like because it involves internal organs, you know, so
Yes,
it's
Well-
something like that. Yeah. It's
That's
supposed to
one
be
thing that's odd.
stereotyping.
Here's one thing that's strange. When I was living in Kansas City, Missouri, they actually had
My sympathy.
sold stomachs. You know, the
Mhm.
stomach casings to make haggis. They sold the
Lovely.
stomach casings.
Huh.
I
just don't
throwing
think they
that
can
out there.
make it and then sell it as a
Yeah,
dish.
it's a preparation thing more than anything else because of
Gotcha.
possible. I would think it's because of possible sepsis within any organs that are laying around.
Probably.
Sure.
Point.
That makes
It's
sense.
lovely. Come over for Christmas. Go home with sepsis. Yes.
Yes, I dig it. Yeah,
we can
let's-
drink
I
alcohol. We'll
watched
kill
all
that
this
shit.
shit out
Nobody's
at its
died
time.
from years.
Yeah,
I washed all this
tried
shit out
watching
with garden
those.
hose.
Oh yeah.
Is-
While we're talking interesting culinary delights, I have a great trick for everybody to play at Christmas or Thanksgiving. First thing you do is you go get the turkey, and first you yank out the nasty ass giblets and all that shit from the innards. Then you go and buy a small capon. Okay. Then you stuff the capon. You stuff the turkey with the capon,
Yes,
and then you
it's just
jam
like
all. Then you jam all the trimmings or whatever they call it up in there with the small chicken, and you will be able to tell the IQ of your family. And if you have someone particularly dull, you can tell them that when they cut open. And like me, I would do like this. I'm like, "Oh, who'd like some white meat?" "Oh my God, it's pregnant!" It'd be like, "Clear the table." Ah, you know? I'm sorry. I'm here to help.
Rich.
You know,
Oh my God, I know, right? Dude,
you know how many
so-
people probably would believe it? I'll bet there'd be a few at the table who'd go, "Oh my God, that's horrible."
And then there
So-
would be me, be
I'd
like,
probably
yeah,
eat it.
run that
No,
over
yeah,
here.
probably eat
Run
the
me
shit.
over
I
some
mean,
of
yeah,
that.
probably do that. That and put gravy on it, you know. It's just like I put tomato sauce on it, knowing me.
I love it. Well, what
That's
makes
in my blood, tomato sauce. Really, to be honest with you, being the Ginzo that I am, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just really it. Oh God, yeah.
do you,
Oh,
do you have
yeah.
any favorite family recipes that you love that you make for your girlfriend or people on a holiday?
No, I this is something that I've cultivated myself. I didn't have any family recipes or anything. I mean, my family, they had the run of the mill Sunday gravy dinner where they braise the meat for about 3-4 hours and then they cook the sauce for about 5 or 6 hours. And
Right, right. Typical
we started
Sunday
like
gravy
6 o'clock
thing.
in the morning, and then we wound up eating it like 5. You know, and then the pasta's too soft, and then the sauce is too watery. I never really enjoyed it. You know, but for me, it's like I had to cook since I was like 13. So
Right.
we learned to make pizza dough, and I learned to make my own
Yeah.
gravy. And for the longest time, I've made my own gnocchi. I've made my own pasta. I've
Good for you.
you know, I do all it. Well, it's not as hard as anybody really thinks. It includes maybe 2 or 3 ingredients, and that's it, and just a little bit of time.
That's
That's
the
really
problem. It's the time.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's like when you make fresh pasta. I mean, the ingredients are easy enough, and mixing it together and making sure that it's consistent. Even if you put it in a blender, it still takes a while. And then having to make sure that you knead it out. And if you have a pasta maker, you know, you have to smooth it out. You have to stretch it out a little bit here and there, and that does take time. And then you got to hang the pasta for a bit, which I have been doing of late. And then, you know, you're making a mixed amount, and then there's the cleanup afterwards, which you have to clean up because it's like that flour will get everywhere.
Right.
You know, but it's not very difficult at all. I mean, I actually really enjoy it because I mean, for me, it's therapeutic, and I know how to cook. It's pretty damn good.
Oh, you frequently, your breakfast interests me. I sometimes eat rather unusual breakfasts, like you've posted.
I have the weirdest breakfast too. It's like I'll have pot. I'll make pot. Like I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and I'm like, man, I'm hungry. What am I gonna have? There's no fruit in the house. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll make a gravy, and then I'll make some pasta, and I'll have like 6:30 in the morning a full pasta dinner with
absolutely,
whatever I have left. And
absolutely.
It's like, I don't know why.
Right.
You know, it's like this thing. I don't know what it is. It's like I'm still on USA time if I was living in California.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that kind of caused a little whiplash depending on who you're talking to.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. But no, I love cooking. If my father brought home a cookbook instead of a comic book, I would have been a chef. Truth to power.
Really?
Well, cooking and drawing are really one and the same. You know, you're creating with your hands, and then you're going to present whatever it is that you create in front of someone who wants to purchase or wants to sample some of the food or art that you're displaying. And if they like it, they want more. And I get the same thrill.
Sure.
You know, it's like if someone really loves the art that I have, that's fantastic. If someone likes the spinach tagliatelle pasta that I make, it's like, yeah, that works.
Well, when you come visit us here in the States, you're going to have to come by. We'll hang at the house.
I'm absolutely.
You're on staff, man. It's going to be great.
That's not even an issue. I'm going to cook for this one right here, the girly. And I'm going to make sure that I cook for her and everything. Yeah, don't worry about that. Good, you can cook for me anytime. I know. It's like I can cook for everybody. I do like cooking for a lot of people because it really keeps you busy. I mean, there's like it's like catnip to me because it's like there's 5 or 6 different things you have to watch out for. And when you get it right and you time it all correct, it's like boom, 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 boom. You're like, yes, I am the king. You know,
absolutely. I think it's a lot like writing a song, making a new recipe. It's like writing a song or performing, because you are performing when you're making a big dinner. It's like Bourdain, you know, I used to love his attitude about a lot of things. And I mean, it's a rush to me to have a big dinner too. And my girlfriend as well. We have company, man. We're both running amok trying to juggle the dishes and the food and have it really come out good. And it's a great feeling to feed people, isn't it? I mean,
there's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than well, there's that. You were going to say, Irish, I'm sorry, please.
I was going to say, are you one of those guys? Do not step in my kitchen.
Yes.
When you're cooking, I see it. Yeah.
Yep.
Don't do it. Get out.
Like that.
Get out now.
Well,
yeah, my
listen,
cannot have anybody in the kitchen when I'm there because
you're creating.
I move faster than the damn Flash, and it's like I'm afraid I'm going to bump into people, and it's like there'll be one person who's like, I'm just here to get a glass of water. I'm like, well, then hurry the fuck up.
You know,
don't be a cunting bastard.
Don't be a cunting cunt, you cunty fucking
cunty
fucking wanker.
Don't be cunty. Well, all right, guys, here we are. We have to go to a break, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk about Rich's fundraising efforts for his various paintings and artworks and all this good stuff. And we're going to carry on and tell you young people how to do it from the richnesses training for young men. Always cook good for your girlfriend. They'll be happy.
So wrong.
Yeah, I know. Especially the thought of you around our young people. We're going to go. Woo!
Hi, I'm trumpeter Greg Adams, and I'm live with Neve.
Wow,
I'm Keith.
I'm Judy, and our company is Gone Country, and we design and produce our own really unique and fun cowboy hats. Keith and I have tried to create a business that's different by focusing on what's important to the customers. Our quality is so good that we offer a lifetime warranty on everything we sell. At the end of the day, if our customers are happy, we're happy. Check us out at GoneCountryHats.com.
Take a look at the spot.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve Fridays on the East Coast from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
All right. Remember, watch Leland Sklar on one of our past episodes. And now we're back on Live with Neve. It is it's 1:30, half past the hour, and we're going to talk to Richness about his great art. And let's just carry on, man. What are you doing right now? And what is your newest fundraiser?
Well, it's a crowdfunding campaign for the graphic novel that I have. It's going to be a 4-part series, which the way that it's going, even with all the bad that actually happened during this campaign, I still managed to make my goal with extra so far. It's I'm lucky. I'm trust me, I'm very fortunate with that. I really am. And I hustled quite a bit, and I had a couple of friends who truly helped me out with that. The book is called The Incantessi. It's about a young woman in Milan, Italy, who, while she's a professional dancer, unbeknownst to her, she is also supposed to be one of the most powerful sorcerers that ever existed on Earth, but she's also supposed to be keeper of the wrath, an offshoot of the Incantessi, because the Incantessi is not her. It was a group of sorcerers about 300 years ago. The wrath's only purpose was to enslave and slaughter humanity at will. And the few remaining Incantessi that were there managed to trap all the wrath into this extra-dimensional prison. Now, the spell to capture all of them was faulty, and it was only going to last the next amount of years, like decades or maybe into centuries. And only the person who's supposed to be the one true Incantessi, blah, 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 is supposed to be the person who can fortify that prison. Now we come to Cassandra, and it turns out she's destined to be one of the more powerful ones who can easily do something like that, like fortify that extra dimensional prison and keep the wrath out forever. But she finds out in the worst ways possible that this is her destiny, and the reasons as to why this all of a sudden became her destiny. Now, for the tagline for the first Kickstarter that I had, it said, will she embrace her destiny, or will she be consumed by it? And the way that the story is going is that she's learning things about the wrath that she really didn't know. And she finds herself sympathizing with them a little bit more. So she's not... You see, the one thing I didn't want to do with this comic is make it like your standard hero's journey, like one of those things where it's like, okay, it's gonna be Rey Palpatine or whatever it is from the Star Wars movies, where it's like she's hanging out with Luke Skywalker for 5 minutes and she can crack a planet with the Force. You know, that's not something that I really want. You know, I don't. It's not so much I don't believe in the hero's journey. I believe in the human's journey. Depending, it all depends on who you are, who that person is going to be. And I'm glad I came up with this idea, because I was thinking of self-publishing, but I was going to use some of my older characters, and I'm like, man, these guys suck. I'm not going to use any of these damn things. And it came about that this actress from Italy, her name is Sofia Broccani, close friend of mine. Now we're close friends. She asked me for a commission, and I was like, okay, what do you want? She's like, I want to be drawn like a powerful sorceress or gypsy or whatnot. So I did, and I drew it, and then right a little bit afterwards, I wanted to self-publish, and I'm like, okay, let's do this. I just don't know what I'm going to use. So I look on the pile of paper that I have, and I come across her drawing. And then I'm like, wow, this is it. So the only thing the whole story just popped into my head. The very, very rough version of the story, but the story just popped into my head. So I messaged her and I go, Sophia, can I please use your likeness in this? Because it was the likeness that made it for me. You know, if you go back to one of the, where's the one of the pages that was there where you saw her in her full costume or something, her full uniform, that's her. And
buttons.
Well, one of the things I wanted to keep everything as authentic as possible. You know, she doesn't look like. I'm sorry. Everything okay?
Yeah, we're beautiful.
Yeah, we're good.
We're golden, man.
Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
For yours. Yep, we can hear you.
I hear you great, man.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Right. Okay, I thought you guys.
No,
sorry about
which
that.
page?
That's okay, mate. Carry on. You're good.
I didn't want to make it, like I said, I didn't want to make a conventional superhero. Okay. I didn't want to make a conventional looking superhero at all. I wanted someone who looked a little bit more normal instead of someone with exaggerated tits and like a 12-year-old girl's face and like a really big bulbous ass with like the outline of the labia in her costume. I did not want to do that because to me that's just A, for me, it's tacky, and B, it's also based on a real person. You know, it's based on a real human being. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna do any of that stuff. But I didn't want to make this person. I didn't want to make her the hero exactly. It's like
maybe more of an
throughout
anti-hero?
all the stuff that she's going to go through over the next 4 chapters, and then the next set of not even so much an anti-hero. Just I mean, I can't even really put a label on it. I'd have to say just how an average human being would react if all of a sudden given all these gifts and all these circumstances behind it. Like one minute she's just a dancer over at a theater in Milan, and then the next day, you know, she can command all of space and time and warp any type of reality that she chooses to if she decides to do so. But when you have that type of scope of power that you have, you know, with your, where is this girl? I'll show. Let me see. I'll show you.
All right. There we go, everybody. And
right
Kentessi.
That's her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, and this is actually the first issue. Now, this is the first issue that I've already finished, and this is actually the type of quality that you get for the prints. I mean, this is like no joke. Beautiful. I mean, it's a really, really strong outer cover. It's almost like a hardcover. Bless you. And it folds out beautifully, and the quality of the prints are absolutely incredible.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm curious. Did you have that done in London, or
and it's like,
oh, it looks great.
You know, if you go over here,
wow. Yeah.
Yes, cool. I did actually. Well, I had it done in England. Yes, it's a printing house called Nixon, and they're really good. They're really they're inexpensive in comparison to printers in the United States. And
sure, I'm gonna have to check it out.
I had no idea how to do the printing in the United States without having to deliver it, but I have someone who's going to help me with fulfillment. Yeah, you should, because it's like I had to do some printing over here, and I had to do the fulfillment by sending everything away. And it's so expensive now because of Brexit and because of COVID that it's like really crazy to send anything overseas. So I have to have it printed and then sent to a person who can take care of fulfillment. Now I'll have to pay him, but after all that, it'll still be cheaper than having to send everything over to the States. Like, let's see.
I tell you what, we would perhaps like to sell them for you in our store.
Towards the end of it. I mean,
wow, looking great, really vivid. I like that.
The thing that you just put up, excuse me, a little while ago, the thing you just put up a few minutes ago is the Kickstarter for the campaign for Chapter 2. Now, there's some art that was in Chapter 2 that you went through, and I feel that the art in there is superior to the story over here. As good as the art is here, I feel it's a lot more superior over there. Now, when I have these books, I have them in 2 forms. I have in the soft cover, and I have the hardcover. This is an awesome thingy. Yeah, that's the campaign right there. Yeah, if you want to scroll up again, I'm in the final 2 days of this campaign. The final 2 days, and we succeeded. The goal was 2,500 British pounds, which is roughly 3,500 American. Here's the thing for the richness. Please compare the Marvel comic style to the late 60s, 70s to today. There is no comparison. None.
Yes.
There is no comparison because the 60s and the 70s were the time of the premier artists and those who inspired the generation that came afterwards.
Sure.
In the 60s and 70s, you had Jack Kirby, you had Neil Adams, you had John Byrne, you had George Perez, you had Steve Ditko, you had Kurt Swan. So many of these luminaries who've been there forever. Murphy Anderson, too. It's just so Joe Sinnott. Oh, God, the list goes on and on and on. John Romita Sr., the guy who drew the comic where Gwen Stacy died. I think it was him. I'm not too sure. I think it was giants. They've inspired the artists of today, and even in the 90s they inspired some of them. But the way storytelling has evolved, it's changed. It's become a little bit more theatrical, and I mean that's how I draw my stuff, a little bit more theatrical. Sure. I studied film instead of studying storytelling in comics, because all a comic really is, if you really think about it, is a storyboard just with different size
Storyboard,
panels,
right.
you know, and
Mhm.
much less. Yeah, well, it's a storyboard with a lot less panels and, you know, fewer panels. You know, it's
Right,
like you have to
right.
try and tell a story within a 4 or 5 panel page, and
Mhm.
it's
That's harder than it
difficult to
looks,
do.
people.
It's
Yeah,
well,
it really is. It's
it's
like a
harder than it
trailer.
looks. It takes a lot of distance if you're going to do it. Yes, well, you could say that. Yeah, you could say that. It's hard to do. It's hard to
Yes.
do, and but the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Right.
You know, and I love doing it. I was meant to do it. I was meant to draw comics.
Absolutely. It shows in your
are.
passion.
Yeah.
Well, thank
Absolutely.
you. And
You know-
the
I
next
know
look
that
for
feeling.
me, yeah,
Mhm.
I know you know that feeling, Jules. It's the best feeling in the world when it's like, you know, this is what you're supposed to do no matter what. And
Mhm.
it's a great feeling when you don't listen to those who think that you do not know what you're doing, and then you just shove it in their
yeah.
face. It's like, well,
Yeah.
yeah, I did this. Yeah,
Yes.
so it was funny. I mean, when I told my it
Hey,
got to a
Mike, what's
point
happening,
where it's
buddy?
like,
Got another guest here.
okay, who's Mike?
I'm sorry, Rich. What were you saying? Yeah.
No, it's what happened was when I told my family that I got into Marvel, all but one didn't want to hear it because it's like they've been telling me forever that it's like there's no way you're going to be able to do it, and I did it.
Yeah.
You know,
And
so
did it. It ain't bragging if
Yeah.
you can do it.
that is true.
Not
And I
trying
could
to nanner
definitely do
nanner
it.
boo boo, stick your head and do you.
Yeah, that's how I felt quite a bit. You know, especially with them and a lot of my peers or friends or whatnot. They're like, "Oh, can you draw He-Man?" And I'm like, "It's not even part of fucking Marvel, you dick." You know, I'm just like, you guys are assholes for saying it.
I love it, man.
Like,
Listen,
He-Man's not part of Marvel Universe, you asshole. I'm just like, shut up, man. Just, please.
before we
That's a
break,
Staten Island mentality for you. Yeah,
Who's
I'm
your
curious.
favorite Marvel character?
Yeah,
I
there
don't
you
have
go.
a favorite Marvel comic there. I don't.
You don't?
I don't have
How
a
about-
favorite. I don't.
Do you have
I
any
don't
favorite
because-
characters?
Well, there's mine, you know, but that's
There
my
you go.
favorite character. My favorite character, but I don't have a favorite Marvel or DC character because I have so much fun drawing each and every one of them when I get the chance to.
All right.
You mentioned that you mentioned all those luminaries from the 60s and 70s. Out of that group you mentioned, is there a couple or one or two that really influenced your style, or is it just a melding of all these different comics you read growing up?
Well, no, because I mean, I love reading their books, but the way that their art style was, it was contradictory to how I draw things.
Mhm.
One artist inspired me. Well, two of them actually. Two artists inspired me. One of them was Paul Smith. Now, Paul Smith had a short run on the Doctor Strange title, and he had a short run on the X-Men title in the early 80s. But before then, he also was like, I think he was the art director for both the Lord of the Rings animated movie in 78 and the movie American Pop in 1980.
Great.
And
I love that.
Man, can this guy tell a story? Oh my God. He is the reason why I chose the way of film and learning film to draw a comic that way, because it is so cinematic and so perfect the way that this man drew that. And I'm like, yeah, he's my new god. And the other person, if there was an altar, I'd pray to him. But for him, the other person is Keith Williams. He took me under his wing and taught me everything I know.
Wow.
And I love him. Like he's my father, really, if you put it that way. He really is. Taught me everything I know. Taught me everything I know.
Hold that thought. We're going to go to break. We have got one more break. It is quarter till the hour. We're hitting on 2 o'clock, and we're here with Rich Perotta. The richness to you.
We are, yes.
Live music by Product Need Project.
For trying to change the system from within.
my song off the Never Ending album I'm working on. So that was one of them. Little Leonard Cohen for you guys. Okay, so we're talking to Rich, the Richness. And hey, Jimmy, man, we're sorry we didn't get to drag you on the show. I was planning to bring you on to tell all the great stories you have of the Richness. Any rate, we're glad you're here.
Pops Van Sant, that's on there too.
No,
Pops
don't
is welcome.
Don't ask them. Don't ask them.
So we were talking about your Marvel and experiences and what you're working on now. What's going on in the future? What's like, where do you intend when this blows up and you're sitting in your big place like Lucasfilms looking at your empire? What is there something that you have as a project that it's not time yet, but do you have something percolating in your head that's going to be, like your manifesto? I'm kidding. We frown on manifestos.
I have a couple of things that I'm kind of waiting for my friend to help me write this other thing, but the way that I see it right now, with the popularity of what this book is, even with all the flaws of this campaign, this is going to be something that's going to be semi-permanent. And while I'm doing that, I'll, with any luck, either I'm going to be teaching art here in the UK, or I will establish my own type of school here.
Excellent.
I like that.
I love that idea.
I love it.
That really is great.
I mean,
Very cool.
More people should do that.
I'll probably establish my own school because, from what I've heard, the curriculum for art or any type of creativity here is a little bit rigid, and I'm more of a very free flow type of person. I mean, I can do a structured lesson. It's just that this is, I managed to conjoin them with other types of art, and it's like, my parents threw out my Conan collection started with #1. I still cry at night. This is Mitchell Bergen saying that. I'll tell you what, you could have bought a house with Conan #1. So
that's not making it any better.
That's brutal. Now we're really making him feel bad. Poor guy. Oh no. No, Mitch is a great guy. In fact, his band.
Yeah, he's gonna jump off a bridge now. Sorry, no, it's worthless. Forget it.
It was nothing.
Mitch has a band called Trick Dog, and they'll be playing tomorrow. They're one of Toby's artists out there, and he's just a good friend of the show. So I'm glad you're here. Obviously, a comic aficionado.
Excellent. Wow. Check out the Kickstarter campaign. I mean, the link is there in the.
Sure.
I can if someone wants to put the link in the comments, that would be great. But just go check it out. I mean, there's no pressure. There's no pressure to purchase anything. I mean, I just want you to take a look and see what's there. Because it's like the key for me is to get it out and make sure everybody sees it as much as they possibly could. And if you decide you want to back it, that's great. If not, if you're a little bit pensive about it, at least take a look at what's there, and trust me, you will not be disappointed. Trust me.
Absolutely.
And I would
it's a
like
good story. I work with people. It's just like, yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to add, if no one has seen, if any of our audience has not seen your show yet, please watch Rich. He is so unique in the way he structures his show and how he produces it and everything he does in his show. It is a very incredible.
Funny man. Absolutely.
And you're always on the fly, man. I love the quick
I love his show
as you're writing, as you're drawing, and
he's
everything.
clicking along, the brain's humming. He's got a dialogue track going on. He's just a character, and I love it. The world needs more people like Rich who just say, "I'm going to do this. I'm getting on my track, and I'm going forward." And it's really hard to do what you're doing. All entertainment business people, any arts as well. Everybody tells you, "Oh, you're not going to do nothing," but here's proof, buddy. Everybody watching, this family told him the same thing. Hey, you're not going to do this. And 10 years at Marvel, man, that says it all. It pretty much tells them all quietly shut their pie hole.
I don't.
Anybody who does that shit to their kids or to their friends.
Say again.
Yeah, if you like that, say that again, Ed, Irish.
I think Irish.
I think Irish is frozen. He'll be right back.
But he was asking you. Yeah, he was saying that if anybody does that, the best thing to do is to be like, hey, look at what I accomplished. Marvel Comics, DC Comics.
Yeah, he did, and it was it was great. I didn't after a while. I mean, there's once in a while I get a little misty about it because I'm like, all right, come on, guys. I reached the apex of what the hell I was doing without even going to school. Give me a little bit of credit, but. Yep. At the end of the day, I don't care because it's like they have their lives and I definitely have mine. Excuse me. Mike, I've already proven them wrong 1,000 times already. With every single page of comic art that I've ever drawn, I've proven them wrong. And I can say without a doubt, I must have worked on combined even up to now, I'd say about maybe 3,000 or 4,000 pages of artwork. It's just, that's just, that's just insane.
Yet another example of if anybody
and
tells
each
you not
page
to
is never
do something,
love it more and more every day.
Oh, it was a little garbled.
I'm not worried about it. If anybody can tell me that.
Tell me this. How was that first paycheck at Marvel? Did you do something special? Get blind drunk, find you a slag and drag her back for some dogging?
Both.
That's my man.
There you go.
Way to go.
Good job, Rich.
Yes, the stories go
when
on.
I first started at Marvel, I was a little bit of a man whore, and then after I started at Marvel and stayed there, I was still,
I went to Man Whores Anonymous, and it cleared me of being a man whore. It happens to the best of us. Just one day at a time. One day at a time.
A lot of times, especially. Oh God! A lot of times, especially now, it's almost like catnip. Honestly, it's just like all I have to do is just like say it, and I have to curb my
enthusiasm.
It sounds silly, and I don't know why the hell it sounds relevant, but I have to curb my charm a little bit sometimes on the show that I have because I've had offers.
You're hilarious,
man.
Like,
no. I'm like, no, I don't know. Go away. Just this is not while I'm drawing. Come on, man. It's like that's
I don't know. I've had similar problems.
Because I'm sure you have. You're a musician. Musicians have to 12 step. That has to be like a cosmic event if a musician doesnn't get laid. I mean, really, it's like
remember they're out there who don't.
It's not a bad problem to have.
Some of them go to strip clubs. It just boggles my mind. I'm like, of all the things in a rock and roll band you don't have to do. I mean, I'm sorry to admit it. You can usually, even if you're a bass player, you can get laid. I'm sorry, Julie. Julie's gonna. She's coming on Tuesday. I know she's gonna like. It's gonna be like an episode of Oz. She's gonna stab me in the neck with something.
Rich, what was that?
It's gonna be like an episode of Oz. You're just gonna appear from nowhere with a syringe, and next thing you know, I'm gonna be like, oh, and you'll do whatever you want. You can parade me around on the show, have dead Neve for the whole thing, and I won't say a word. I'll just be like this.
Weekend at Neves.
Weekend at Neves, man. We had a character called Dead Neve who I think it's your next comic book. He's the anti-hero for the age. Dead Neve.
No.
Hi, Neve. How are you doing today?
No. So Rich, to get back to what we were talking about with your with everything you have coming up and all of that. What more can we expect? Where can we find you? Where can everybody find your show? What time, day, all of that?
Usually, my show starts at 6 p.m., but that's at Greenwich Mean Time.
Okay.
It's 5 hours ahead of the Eastern Seaboard, so it's around 1 o'clock. I'm also the co-host of the Monday Madness, with my good friend Pops on a Monday evening from 4 to 6. My YouTube channel is called The Richness, and that's where I usually have my art shows from 6 to 7 or a little bit later, depending on what I'm drawing. You can also find me on Facebook. It's easy to just find me. Just look my actual name up. Don't look up The Richness because you're just not going to find a damn thing. just look up Richard Perotta and you'll see me. And then I'm also on Twitter. Yeah, with the moniker at Greystoke20. I figured I'd pick an English name for it because I'm in Britain. So I figured why not? And in Castle Greystroke. Yes. Wow. That's a foreign. That's a foreign.
That really is. I get it off my charm, but on YouTube they call me princess.
You missed our earlier show
now for the weather.
You missed our earlier show where we did discuss porn. Oh, yeah. It was a lot of fun.
We covered a lot of spicy topics.
Where the hell was I? I love watching it.
Missed it.
I've gotten some hate now.
If anybody wants to see it that's connected with me on social media, I had to draw this ridiculously raunchy picture. Like really, really. And I tested the waters. I wanted to see how well it would do on YouTube. It got flagged in like a half hour.
We know it's good then. Absolutely. We know it's good.
They zapped me in like it's been an hour. It was amazing. I was like, God, I'm going to draw this and then I'm going to draw this. And I did with great detail. And it was there.
The hair on the arms.
It's like flag. Yeah, now Pops is embarrassing. He's like, don't get him started on porn. I don't draw. Well, no, I don't really draw porn, but it's like
trying to get out.
Remember, porn is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, what they call porn. Porn in Alabama is different than porn in New York. My feeling is if you can buy it in New York, it is not torture or socially unacceptable. Just have to have the cash, baby.
Yeah,
show me the money.
In Alabama, it's livestock.
There we go, man. That's what we call a lot lizard down there. Got a bunch of lot lizards.
Not me.
I had to.
How about that for a series? The lot lizard saga.
So we have we have about 90 seconds left. We have about 90 seconds left. Yeah. So just Rich. So we want to make sure we get to see you, and everything is chapter 2 is being released in. When again?
Another 3.5, 4 weeks. That's when the crowdfunding funds come in, so I could print everything. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, and you have 2 days left, right, on your Kickstarter.
I do. Yes, I do.
Great. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. All right, okay. So make sure everyone head over to Rich's Kickstarter. Make sure you help him out a little bit there because he is awesome and his show is great.
Which is awesome.
Julie, before we go,
listening to the naysayers, Rich.
Hell with the naysayers.
I'm not worried about any.
Prove them wrong.
I never will be. Thank
Julie,
you
what's
for
coming up next.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on. We love you anytime.
Absolutely.
Just hit me up in Messenger wherever, and we'll get you booked. So we love having you.
I'm going to reach out to you over the weekend. I have an idea that you might find entertaining, and it's actually a real one, not some bullshit for the show. So I'll give you a call, man. During the course of the weekend. Have a good weekend. And Jules, who have we got coming up in just an hour?
An hour. We have a little bit more than that.
Nathan Campbell. From the great city of Seattle. We'll be talking riots. We'll be talking music. We'll be talking heavy metal in response to COVID. I don't know what we'll be talking about, but we'll be talking a lot. See you there. We're out of here live with Neve, 2:00
Thanks,
on the
Rich.
Eastern Coast.
We'll see you soon, Rich.
See you guys later. Bye.